In this lesson, we're going to be looking at if we actually have more than one subdomain or more than one project that we're working on at the same time. We can split those off into different subdomains and we can actually have access to them all at the same time. So that's one of the really unique things about XAMPP, is that we're able to do this and split this off.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
So let's go ahead and open up our control panel. So we're going to stop our server because we're making some updates to the configuration. Every time you make updates to the configuration, it's always a good idea to restart your system in order for those configurations to take place. So this time we're going over to config and we're going to be accessing the HTTP config file. And we're looking for load module. So the one that we're looking for is going to be load module vhosts. So it's probably down here at the bottom. So we've got vhost alias modules. So this actually gives us the ability to use those subdirectories. So just unhash that, save that, and now we've got the ability to access those hosts. So the next thing that we need to do is edit the HTTP vhost config file. So let's open that up. Open up the root directory where you've got XAMPP installed, and the folder that we're going to is going to be under, so we're looking for HTTP d-vhost config file. So that's located in Apache and config, and then under extra. So we've got a listing of a bunch of the config files here, and the one that we're looking for is vhosts. So go ahead and edit that one. So open that one up, and this will give you all of the virtual hosts. So basically it'll give you where the root virtual hosts are, and it'll give you the option to update what the virtual root does. So here we need to essentially update some of the content here and set these as our virtual hosts. So we can replace the contents of there, but everything is actually hashed out anyway, so there isn't anything that's being used. So we can simply copy and paste this in. So again, remember that this is the document root. So depending on what your document root is, and if you followed one of my earlier lessons here where we've updated our document root within this HTTP file, so this is the HTTP config file, where we had all of our document roots where we could set them. So if we've changed that here off of the default, then make sure that you're using that exact same one. So I'm going to just do that here, and I'm going to create, I'm going to use JS as my document root. And I got to make sure that I'm doing the same thing within that config file. So let's open that one here, the vhosts config file, and make sure I've got my same folder here. And this is basically going to look for this asterisk value that's in front of localhost, and then it's just going to redirect it into the JS folder that's located in websites.js. So essentially whatever I've got here as a local host, it's going to translate into the value here. So let's save all of this, and we're going to try this out within our server. So let's restart it. So stop, we've already had it stopped, and we're restarted, and now we need to go into where we've got our JS files, because now this is going to be the root folder, and it's going to look for files located in here. So let's do app1 and do another one for app2, and then I'm just going to copy this index page into there and index page into there. So now we've got two apps up and running, and we're all ready to go to try that out within our browser. So let's open up our browser, just make sure that we've got this up and running. We go, so we can go to app1 localhost, and that goes to that directory, and we can go to app2 localhost, and that one goes to that directory. Let's open up our app1 and app2 and get rid of this PHP info. Just going to update this to app2 folder or project. So when I refresh it, app2 folder project, so just to show you that that's working, and then go back to app1 and we can get rid of the PHP info as well, and maybe just write app1 working. And then go back over to app1 and we've got the app1 output there. So this is a way that you can actually use the same folder, a work folder, as your root folder, and you can actually create a bunch of applications, and you just need to go to the subdomains in order to run those applications within XAMPP. And this gives you even more flexibility when you're working with multiple projects. Having the ability to kind of switch back and forth between the different projects is ideal, especially if you're a really busy web developer and you've got a number of them on the go. And this is what you can do with XAMPP, so working within creating subdomains. So this is another thing. This is more details about how to set that up. So again, going into that vhost config file, and just got to make sure that you've got that virtual document root so that they're all matching up, as well as the document root that's sitting within your config file. So make sure everything is matching up. So in the next lesson, we're going to jump back into the PHP INI file. I'll show you how to do some limit increases within the PHP INI file in order to update it. So if you're uploading and make some adjustments to that file. So that's coming up in the next lesson.